You're watching Mustang Baseball Live by Tradio, and we're out here at Arlington Heights tonight for Game 2. Mustangs pulled out a nail-biter in the first game, 2-1, to run their season record to 24-2. But they were tested by the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets, I believe that makes them 19-7-1 on the season. And we're going to have Luke Esquivel on the mound for Game 2. But we wanted to go through some of the pregame that we didn't get to do before Game 1. You're watching Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. The state championship games last year were down in Round Rock. That was pretty cool. Both of them, we walked it off in the semifinals and the finals.
I saw that, yeah.
I love it, Trey.
Oh, my God.
Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio begins now.
Okay, let's try that again. You're watching Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. We're out here in Arlington Heights for Game 2 of this doubleheader. Mustangs won a nail-biter 2-1 in Game 1. Had a very tough challenge at the plate. The pitcher for the Yellow Jackets is a senior, 7-0 until Mustangs hung the first loss on him of the season. He'll be pitching next season at UT Tyler, and he was bringing it low 90s today and made it tough on the Mustangs, but they did scratch for 2 runs and eke out a victory. So we got a pregame show here that we wanted to give you because we didn't get a chance to do that before Game 1. So let's try that again. Trey, we've got the records here, and that was prior to Game 1. Mustangs came in at 23-2 overall. The Yellow Jackets 19-6-1. Both teams were 11-1 in the district, and they have just that district record is unchanged because again, Arlington Heights is not in the Mustangs district. We finished the district season, so our district record will not change. But the record now stands at 24-2 for the Mustangs. Yellow Jackets now 19-7-1. And we're joined tonight by Josh Worden. And Josh, if you didn't catch the intro in Game 1, Josh has done play-by-play for the Frisco Rough Riders as well as Oregon State's baseball team. So, Josh, tell me your thoughts on Game 1.
I thought it was a fun game. I mean, it was pretty good pitching, and neither team was really able to scratch much and extend innings. Each inning kind of had 1 or 2 plays where, they get one runner on board but couldn't really find enough to put a crooked number on the board, save for that one inning. And you got to take what the opposing team gives you, and Arlington Heights just let it slide a couple times with a balk and a couple errors and scratched out 2 runs, and that ended up being all that Grapevine ended up needing.
Yeah, that's a good point. They helped us out a little bit with some errant throws, some wild pitches, and the Mustangs didn't make those mistakes. In fact, Mustangs played a clean game defensively, so that was the difference in the game.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to game 2. I mean, I expect maybe a higher scoring game. I think it won't be 2-1, but it should be a good game.
Okay, yeah, these are some keys to the game that are news to me. Thank Trey for putting them in my name. But the first key there, get on the board early. Yeah, it's always easier playing with the lead, and the Mustangs did that in game 1. They jumped out on that 2-0 lead and were able to hang on and pull out a 2-1 victory. Second key there, hustle, hustle, hustle. Mustangs have done that all season. Okay, yeah, Trey has made a point that the turf, you never know what kind of bounce you're going to get. And we saw that come into play early in the game where that ball got past the catcher, but it came right back to the catcher, and they got us out at the plate on a pass ball, which normally doesn't happen. But we did score later on another pass ball. So we were 1 for 2 in that spot on pass balls at the plate. But and then set the playoff tone. Yeah, that was unfortunately I wanted to talk to Coach Webster before the game, but was late arriving. It was a bit of a haul out here on a Friday afternoon. Traffic, anyone that lives in the Metroplex knows what Friday afternoon traffic is like. But I would have liked to hear what he wanted to see from the team today, because again, these are, although the Mustangs are playing to win. In the big picture, these games don't mean that much. It's next week, the games that have all the meaning once those playoffs start. But I think Coach Webster has to be happy with what he saw in game 1. Ben came out and threw 3 good innings, followed up by Lolly, who he walked a few and was able to work out of a jam. They had bases loaded in 1 inning and never, I believe they did push 1 across. They got the 1 run they got was off Lolly, but came in and that last inning was probably his best inning. Shut him down 1-2-3 right in the middle of the lineup.
Right, and really both pitchers, their best inning was their last. I mean, Benjamin Chen encountered some trouble both of his first 2 innings, 2 singles in the first, 2 walks in the second, but then he went 1-2-3 in the third, and that was it for him. And like you said, Escobar looked strong, attacked hitters, and went pretty smooth in the bottom of the 7th. And in a 1-run game, when you were going to get the most tense, the most worried about giving up the 1 run, and he looked calm.
That's a good point. And I think just the way Coach Webster used the pitching in game 1, I think if that had been a playoff game, he would have stuck with Ben longer. Ben would have gone at least 5 or 6 innings, assuming he pitched those innings like he did the first 3, because he was definitely effective. But we know in the playoffs you're going to need 3, maybe 4 pitchers. And that's one thing we've talked about is who's going to be that third starter for the Mustangs when the playoffs come around. If we get to a game 3, we know Luke and Ben are a 1-2. We've seen Lolly in relief a lot, not so much in a starting role. So who will be that number 3? And we've seen a couple other kids, Sam Durard, I'm sorry, I made that mistake a week or 2 ago, but Sam has pitched really well in his last 2 outings. So I would expect we might have Sam get some work in this game. You know, we may see Luke. We know Luke's going to be starting this game. We may see Luke go 3 innings and Sam Durard come in and shut it down. Okay, yeah, we are pleased tonight to have a center field camera courtesy of BC Carpenter, right? And he has also been generous enough to set us up with an open tab at the concession stand that we've taken full advantage of. But much appreciate the hospitality. This is really a beautiful ballpark out here. It kind of has an old school feel with the bricks down the right field line and behind home plate. Yeah. You don't see that much anymore, but you know, you look over here to your right and you see the high school, which has probably been here at least 75 years or old. It's got the old school high school. You don't see them build brick schools anymore. So I kind of like the traditional look. Even though they've added turf, on the infield. They still do have grass in the outfield, but this is it's a nice facility, and again, the hospitality is much appreciated. We're probably about 15 minutes or so from getting game 2 started. We're gonna stick. We're gonna go to some music, and we'll be back before the game starts.
Here it is, the moment we've been waiting for. Showdown tonight, are you keeping score? Two champions at the helm, so get ready for this. All eyes on the prize, you could arrive, I better script no. This is the main event. This is the main event. This is the main event. Come on. High speed adrenaline running through my veins. Too fast from the start, I was born to win. This is the main event. This is the main event. This is the main event. So they remember my name. Yeah. No fear, no rest until I reign supreme. This is the main event. This is the main event. This is the main event. So I'ma give it my all. Got the heart of a champion.
Leading off for Grapevine, the pitcher, number 1, Luke Escobar.
All right, well, we are ready for game 2 of this doubleheader here from Arlington Heights High School. Josh Warden alongside Jeff Knipper for game 2. The first pitch here from the second game from Morgan Garrett is a called strike to Luke Escobar. Pitcher versus pitcher to begin this game. It should be a good pitching matchup. Morgan Garrett is a strong-armed pitcher, not a big frame for the right-hander, but he throws gas, gets a swing and a miss from Luke Escobar to get ahead 0-2. So Grapevine will face very good pitching today after facing Mitchell Carpenter for all 7 innings of game 1 of this twin bill. And now another guy that throws in the low 90s, Morgan Garrett, on the hill. And this 0-2 pitch is fouled back.
Yeah, we got some information on Morgan. He's headed to Cisco College to pitch next season. He was the district player of the year last year and has amounted over 100 strikeouts in his varsity career. So he certainly brings an impressive resume, just like the game 1 starter for the Yellow Jackets did.
He's had 0-2 on Escobar. A pitch taken outside for a ball.
Really good for the Mustangs to see this quality pitching because that's what they're going to see in the playoffs. So this series couldn't have come at a better time with the playoffs on the horizon next week for the Mustangs.
Final games of the regular season. Escobar takes a pitch on the inside corner, try to back up and get the ball call inside, but it is called strike 3 on the edge, and Escobar is set down looking. 5 pitches and a strikeout for Morgan Garrett. 1 away, and Zach Goldstein the batter.
With these 2 starters we've seen for the Yellow Jackets, it's no surprise that they've having such a good season this year.
Arlington Heights at 19-7 on the season, including the loss earlier today to Grapevine. 2-1 the final score. In the first game, Grapevine took a lead in the 3rd inning, got both of their runs, didn't score the rest of the game, allowed 1 in the 6th inning. Here's the pitch to Goldstein, and he takes a strike. It's 0-2. Arlington Heights got a double in the 6th inning to score a run, had the tying run at second base, didn't bring him home, and then didn't really threaten in the 7th inning. Lally Escobar finished it out over the final 4 innings on the mound. Goldstein takes a pitch outside for a ball.
Garrett works quick. He gets that ball, and he's ready to bring it right back at you. So you got to get in the box and get ready to take your hacks.
His pitch to left-hand hitter Goldstein is dribbled foul. Keeps the count at 1-2.
Been right around the plate, too, with every pitch. When he's missed, he's just missed.
Garrett comes home. Goldstein hits one hard on the ground, up the middle, right into center field, splitting the shortstop and second baseman. And Goldstein gets a base hit on a 2-strike pitch.
Yeah, good swing right there. Just took it right back up the middle.
So Jared Boswell coming up next, hitting in the 3-hole just like the first game. He was 0 for 1 in the front half of this doubleheader. He did walk twice and struck out once against Mitchell Campbell, who's now the first baseman for Arlington Heights, holding on the runner at first base. Taking a good-sized lead, and now Goldstein will dive back into first base as Garrett throws his way.
I think you mentioned earlier Zach's batting average now is up over 300. About a month ago, he was down around 250, so he definitely has heated up here over the last month.
Pitch to Boswell, takes a big cut, doesn't get it. Goldstein came into today's action at 3-0-1. Did have a walk in the first game, went 0 for 2, but now 1 for 3 overall on the day, plus the walk. He did score 1 run. It ended up being the difference. He scored the second run of the game in what turned out to be a 2-1 win, with that walk getting him on base. Takes a strike, and Goldstein now has an 0-2 count.
Well, he stretches his lead out. He may be running here.
Dives back in. Campbell slaps the tag on it, but he is safe back at first.
He gets right back out there again. Not going.
Pitch high and away, almost a pitch out. Not that the catcher was coming out of his crouch completely, but effectively, somewhat similar.
Probably a good thing he wasn't running, because that would have been an easy pitch to throw on. It looked like almost like a pitch out. It was up and away. Easy for the catcher to clear that hitter on that pitch.
Boswell awaits the next pitch, and he fouls it up the first baseline. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jared Boswell.
Starting to lose daylight out here. They cut the lights on. At least I won't get sunburn, any more sunburn than I already am.
Here's the pitch to Boswell. Swings at a pitch in the dirt, and he strikes out for the second out of the inning.
Number 11, Lolly Esquivel.
Lolly Esquivel comes up next.
I know Lolly had a hit in game 1. I believe he had a walk also.
He walked in the second inning, his first plate appearance. Ended up going 0 for 2 in the ball game as Brother Luke had a base hit, takes a strike here in the first pitch.
That's right. He hit one hard to the second baseman. They turned 2-1.
Double play. It was a good hit ball, but did turn 2 on it. Big lead for Zach Goldstein. Dives back in safely on a pickoff move.
You mentioned the starting pitcher's not the biggest guy, and it seems those smaller pitchers always have quick moves to first. He's going.
He goes, and a hit-and-run foul ball up the right side, and Goldstein dives in head first into second base, but will have to trot back to first.
That's where you want that hitter to step out and let you catch your breath at first base. Doesn't give Zach much chance to do that.
Here's the pitch. Esquivel hacks at it and fouls it back to the screen. And still 2 strikes on Esquivel, 2 outs and a runner at first. Esquivel pitched in the first half of this doubleheader with the final 4 innings of the ball game. Allowed 1 run, but preserved the lead. Pitch to Esquivel, swings underneath it and strikes out. The inning comes to an end. Morgan Garrett gets 2, actually struck out the side in the first inning with a base hit along the way, but he strands the 1 runner and puts up a 0 in the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first. You're watching Mustang Baseball live on Tradio. Noah Castillo to lead off for the Yellow Jackets. In the bottom of the first inning, Luke Esquivel on the hill for the Grapevine Mustangs. No score into the bottom of the first inning. First pitch from the southpaw is a called strike, and it is 0-1.
Yeah, Noah had 2 hits in that game 1, so need to try and shut him down here in game 2.
Leadoff man, left-hand hitter, swings early at the off-speed and falls behind 0-2. Had a single in the first inning and a single in the 5th inning earlier today. Went 2 for 4 in the ball game with a couple of flyouts along the way. Gets on base over half the time on the season. Takes a pitch for a ball, and it's 1-2. Beautiful day for baseball. It was 80 degrees when we got started today. It's dipped down just 3 degrees since then. 77 here from Arlington Heights with the lights on, but it is still pretty light outside. There's the pitch to Castillo. Swings out in front and misses it. In the dirt, the throw to first base is in time to get Castillo to strike out for the first time today.
Yeah, we do have a lineup change at catcher for the Mustangs. That's Max Dahlke behind the plate. So we're going to give Gianni a break. In a doubleheader, it is a lot to ask from your catcher to catch both games. And I noticed for the Yellow Jackets, they've also made a move at catcher. The first baseman in game 1, Eager, will be behind the plate for game 2.
First pitch to Bryson Tenorio is low, ball 1. Tenorio swings and cuts through the second pitch, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, we didn't go through the Mustangs lineup, but we've got Lolly back at third base in his usual spot. But at second base, we're sticking with Will Newton and giving Colin Park a break.
Ground ball to short, and it's an easy play, a 6-3 putout. That retires, actually that was Adrian Reyes batting in the 2-hole, pardon me. 2 down.
Also notice in the outfield, we've got Brady Boozer back in his usual spot in right field, and we've got Thomas Powers out in left field. So this is a little bit, at least the outfield is a little more, when Luke pitches, this is what the outfield typically looks like.
Mitchell Carpenter, the batter, takes a ball.
No, that's, I believe, Thomas Powers.
Carpenter swings and a soft ground ball to third base, scooped up, and the throw on the run is not in time. Carpenter beats it out, and he is safe at first on an infield single.
Yeah, Lolly had to come get that one and just kind of threw it on the run, sidearm, and Carpenter got down the line good enough to beat that. Tough play right there. Wasn't hit very hard.
Number 13, Caleb Eager.
Yeah, we mentioned in game 1, Caleb Eager was a all-state player as a junior, as a catcher. So he's back in his familiar spot in game 2 behind the plate.
Eager takes the first pitch in the dirt, skips off the catcher, and Carpenter able to get to second base on a wild pitch. Man in scoring position for Arlington Heights, which never did lead in the first half of this doubleheader. A chance to take the first lead today here in the second game, here in the bottom of the first inning. Esquivel steps off the rubber and then comes back on to face Caleb Eager, who went 0 for 3. Grounded out to third base all 3 times in that game.
Yeah, a little different battery here. Luke's normally pitching to Gianni Corral behind the plate, so Luke and Max are going to get their signs together right there. And runner at second base, you typically do mix it up a little bit. You don't want the runner at second base telegraphing the pitch to the hitter.
Esquivel comes set, and the lefty's pitch is taken at the knees for a strike.
I noticed in the Mustangs dugout, Gianni's right over there next to Coach Webster, probably.
There's a ground ball toward short, fielded on one bounce. The throw is in time by 3 steps. And a scoreless inning for Luke Esquivel. Neither team scores in the first. So we're on to the second from Arlington Heights. You're watching Mustang Baseball live on Tradio.
Get up, get knocked down, dust myself off. Get up, get knocked down, dust myself off. As long as I got you right here. Oh yeah, I said I'm ready to go now. I said I'm ready to go now. Uh-oh, everything's gonna be alright. Oh yeah, I said I'm ready to go now. I said I'm ready to go now. Uh-oh, everything's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be. Now that I'm with you. The world beats me up sometimes. Gotta get it off my mind. But now I feel a little stronger. Not gonna let it bother me no longer. As long as I've got you right here. I said I'm ready to go now. Oh yeah, I said I'm ready to go now. Uh-oh, everything's gonna be alright. I said I'm ready to go now. Oh yeah, I said I'm ready to go now. Uh-oh, everything's gonna be alright.
Number 24, Gianni Morale.
Second inning from Arlington Heights High School. No score for either team. Giovanni Corral is the first batter to face Morgan Garrett here in this inning. Fouls off the first pitch.
Yeah, we mentioned Gianni's getting the game off behind the plate, but we're going to keep his bat in the lineup. He's been one of the hotter bats for at least the last month or so.
Corral leading off the second inning for Grapevine. Takes a pitch upstairs. Grapevine struck out 3 times against Garrett in the first inning. Zach Goldstein did have a base hit in the first, but he was ultimately stranded. Next pitch to Corral is taken for a ball 2-1. In game 1, Corral hit the ball well. A fly out to deep right field. He also had a double to right center field. Is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Corral takes a pitch over the plate. It's 2-2.
Garrett really has good velocity. You just don't often see that from a kid of his size.
Next pitch is fouled away over the right field side. And it lands near the batting cages, on top of the batting cages, and keeps the count at 2-2.
Our cameraman Gavin didn't bring his glove today.
Morgan Garrett has his sign and he comes set. The right-hander raises the leg and his pitch is away for a ball 3-2. You say Gavin didn't bring his glove, but did you?
I'm going to barehand it. Who needs a glove?
Yeah, exactly. Here's another one hit, a little pop fly towards the mound. Garrett takes over and drops the ball. It rolls into foul territory. It is a fair ball and an error on the pitcher. And Giovanni Corral gets a gift 90 feet to get to first base. Garrett just dropped the pop fly in front of the mound.
Yeah, that was not even a major league pop-up. It was a very soft ball that didn't even get above the lights.
Brady Boozer.
Brings up Brady Boozer with nobody out. A leadoff error to put a man aboard. And Corral is on first base for the Mustangs. No score in the top of the second inning. Garrett's first pitch to Boozer, takes a big swing at it and fouls it to the left side. Quick hands for Boozer. He hit the ball well in the first game, but did not collect a base hit. A ground out, a fly out to center field, and a fly out to left field on the ball game for Boozer. The second pitch to the outfielder is at the knees for a strike. He's behind 0-2.
Gianni's get to run the bases today. That's not something we see from Gianni. Typically, as the catcher, he's always got a courtesy runner. So, sure, he's probably enjoying that. It's a different experience.
Takes a medium-sized lead and then extends it as Garrett comes set. He's not running the pitch in the dirt for a ball, and it's 2-2. Pardon me, 1-2 the count to Boozer. Left-handed hitter against Garrett. Garrett's pitch to Boozer is low and in. A back pick to first base. Corral gets back in safely. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Morgan Garrett comes set with his back to the runner at first base. Nobody out yet. His 2-2 pitch. Boozer hits it on the ground towards second base. Could be 2. The toss to second base for 1. And safe at first base. Boozer avoids the double play. It's a 4-6-3 fielder's choice.
Yeah, good speed right there by Brady to beat that out, because that was almost a tailor-made double play. The second baseman got that almost at the bag. Had a short flip to the shortstop, who had a lot of momentum coming across the bag.
Thomas Powers' first at-bat of the day. Was not in Jimmy Webster's starting lineup in Game 1. And now in the second half of the doubleheader, Powers getting the nod in left field and batting 7th for Grapevine.
Yeah, I know as of a couple weeks ago, Thomas Powers was hitting over 300.
Powers lines one foul to the netting up the right field side.
Yeah, Trey confirmed Thomas is still over 300. We've seen Thomas primarily in the DH role this season. He gets to start in left field here in Game 2.
Bottom part of the order, Powers hitting 7th. It's Connor Ray on deck. Will Newton batting in the 9 hole for Grapevine. A throw back to first base, and Corral gets back in safely.
Yeah, Thomas is actually hitting 333 at the moment.
The next pitch is fouled back again. Corral was running on the pitch, a little hit and run, but another foul ball. Second time that's happened this inning.
Yeah, that's Brady at first base.
Or Brady Boozer,
yeah.
pardon me, yes, on the fielder's choice. Corral was out at second base on the fielder's choice earlier that Boozer hit into. He's at first, 1 out here in the second inning, no score.
Yeah, favorable trade in terms of speed.
Yeah.
Brady is, if not the quickest on the team, right there, 1-2.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. At the bottom of the zone, a bit of a late strike call, and it was a borderline pitch. Powers thought it was low. And then it's called strike 3.
Like he froze him right there with a curveball.
The shortstop, number 7.
4th strikeout of the day for Morgan Garrett. The only out he has gotten other than the strikeouts was that fielder's choice earlier this inning, but he struck out the side in the first. Connor Ray, the batter, the shortstop, climbs in with 2 down, runner at first. Runner goes, pitch is taken, Boozer slides in feet first. The ball comes out of the glove of the shortstop trying to tag Brady Boozer. He is safe at second base on a steal.
Yeah, good thing the shortstop didn't hang on to that ball. He would have been out, but tough ball to play. It was to the second base side of the bag. Brady comes in sliding, and the shortstop had all his momentum going that way. Just good, clean baseball right there.
It's Jaden Hernandez, the shortstop for Arlington Heights. Almost able to make the play to end the inning on a caught stealing. It was a good throw from the catcher, Caleb Eager. Eager sets up on the inside. The pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0.
We know Connor had 2 hits in Game 1. Be a great time for another hit right here.
Ray with the hitter's count. No score yet. The 2-0 pitch is sliced foul up the left side. Connor Ray with a double in his first at-bat today. Back in the first game, he singled later on in the contest. Flew out to left field in the 7th inning, so he went 2 for 3 in game 1.
Colin Park and Derek DeWong had a race down the fence to get that foul ball. Nice hustle for a couple of guys on the bench today, at least in game 2.
Morgan Garrett looks back at second base. Right-hander pitches, and another foul ball left side off the bat of Connor Ray. Connor Ray played shortstop also in game 1. Didn't have a lot of balls hit his way. They were all gobbled up by the third baseman when Colin Park moved over to there. And a lot of ground balls to the left side, but most of them taken by the third baseman. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is outside and a full count now. Garrett readies for the 2-2, gets a swing and a miss to end the inning on a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts to finish the frame, and he has punched out 5 through 2 innings. No score from Arlington Heights. We head to the bottom of the second after this. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome out to former Arlington Heights.
In my arms, do you wish for love on a falling star? Will you surrender your heart? Will you surrender your heart?
For Arlington Heights.
Well, no score. Bottom of the second inning, Aaron Dontata is the batter to face Luke Esquivel in this scoreless contest from Arlington Heights High School. We'll come back to Thomas Ray Elliott Field for the second half of this doubleheader in the final game of the regular season. First pitch from Esquivel here this inning. Backs Dontata off the plate, but it's called a strike, 0-1.
We're seeing why Morgan Garrett was described as a Yellow Jackets ace. He has struck out 5 of 6 outs for the Mustangs so far.
Really, the only mistake he's made was dropping a little pop fly.
Yeah, that's been it.
Back to the mound.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
the only base runner we got.
They're in that second inning here in the bottom of the second as a pitch outside from Esquivel, and it's 1-2 to Dontata. After Dontata will be Bryson Tenorio and Adrian Tristan, the scheduled hitters in the second inning. The pitch is in the dirt, one bouncing into the catcher, Max Dahlke.
I believe Dontata had a single to right field in game 1. He's a DH, correct?
Yeah, he was batting 5th and had, base hit through the right side past the dive of Boswell back in the 6th inning in game 1. A pitch that almost hit Dontata here. He went 1 for 3, a couple ground outs. One to the shortstop, one to the first baseman in game 1. That was a 3-2 count. And the payoff pitch from Esquivel is swung on and missed. Gets the strikeout. His second strikeout of the day, both to the leadoff men in each inning. And a good pitch from Luke Esquivel to retire Aaron Duntata.
The left fielder, number 7, Bryson Tenorio.
Bryson Tenorio comes up next for the Yellow Jackets. Arlington now 19-7 on the season with the loss earlier to Grapevine. The Mustangs picking up their 24th win in their 26th game of the season. A 2-1 hard-fought victory in Game 1. Trying to repeat as state champs, having won last year and back in 2016. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Tenorio takes in the dirt for a ball.
Good to see Max Dalkey get behind the plate here. You never know if Gianni was to get hurt in the playoffs. He's our number 2 catcher.
Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to the right side. Second baseman comes over it, clips off the glove of Newton and into center field. And so a base runner for Arlington Heights here in the bottom of the second inning. Bryson Tenorio gets credit for a hit up the middle. A single. And Adrian Tristan up next.
Adrian Tristan.
Yeah, that ball, even if Will gets to it, it's probably going to be a tough out to throw him out at first, going to center field on.
Pickoff move to first. Tenorio gets back.
Yeah, good move by Luke.
Seeing both Esquivel brothers pitch today. The righty Lolly Esquivel pitched 4 innings in Game 1 in relief. Here's the lefty Luke Esquivel, misses down and in for a ball, 1-0.
I wonder if there's any brotherly competition there. You know, they get home and compare stat lines. Hey, I had 5 strikeouts. How many do you have?
Yeah.
I will say Luke is up on the season. Luke has done a lot more pitching than Lolly.
Almost got the pick off there at first.
Trey tells me that they're very supportive of each other. My brother and I would have had that argument. Well, Trey tells me that Lolly had to save one of Luke's wins, and Lolly made sure to let his younger brother know about it.
Here's a foul ball. That's where the word supportive can mean a few different things. You can say supportive, and then say, but it's a constructive criticism, sort of supportive, brotherly love, supportive.
And well, I remember when my brother and I played on the same Little League team. He played catcher and I played pitcher, and I'd yell at him to catch the ball. He'd yell at me to throw strikes.
Another pickoff move. Tenorio gets back.
And then my dad was in the stands yelling at both of us.
Luke Esquivel on the mound, his brother Lolly Esquivel playing at third base. Here's the pitch from Luke. It is a breaking ball taken for a ball. Adrian Tristan ahead 2-1. Esquivel holds, stares at first base as he goes into his motion and pitches low for a ball. 3-1. You can tell he's a bit wavered and just paying a lot of attention to Tenorio at first.
I wonder if he missed a sign there. The first baseman or the first base coach gave him that look like, hey, you were supposed to run.
Here's the pitch. A fly ball to left center field. It takes the center fielder back Goldstein a couple of steps. He makes the play for out number 2.
Hitter had a good swing at that ball. Hit a soft line drive to Luke or Zach out in center field.
Goldstein makes the play. 2 down to bring up Morgan Garrett, the pitcher. Going to help his offense here in a scoreless ball game. Bottom half of the second inning. Arlington Heights, the home team in both affairs. After all, this is their facility. First pitch to Garrett is a called strike. They would have been on the road yesterday had we gotten that game in, but weather prevented us from doing so. And so at Arlington Heights, home field for both games, and they hit in the bottom half of the inning in both halves of the doubleheader. A 2-1 victory in game one for Grapevine. Runner starts to go. The throw to first. Boswell goes to second. Low. It skips into left field. Tenorio holds at second base. And it's a stolen base for Bryson Tenorio.
Yeah, he got a huge jump right there, and Luke had a bit of a high leg kick before he got the ball over to Jarrett. I don't think Jarrett really had a play on him.
Steals it off of Luke Esquivel, who made the throw to first to Boswell, but not an easy play for Boswell to make a second base, like you said. So a stolen base for Tenorio, no error, but he gets into second base and stays there with 2 outs and 0-1 count. To Morgan Garrett, RBI opportunity for the pitcher to help his own cause, try to put his team ahead for the first time today. Garrett swings, fouls it back.
Yeah, I thought that runner was supposed to be moving with 1 out, but I guess he finally got that signal that the coach was trying to get to him.
Outfield not playing too deep, shifted a bit to the right side. Brady Boozer, the right fielder, playing towards the line to a right field hitter, thinking he might slice one down the line.
Makes sense. He was really late on that last pitch.
The 0-2 delivery, Garrett swings and fouls it back. A bit more on time with that one, but unable to put it in play. Garrett batting in the 8th hole and hitting for himself, the pitcher who has struck out 5 through 2 innings. No score in the second frame. Runner at second for Arlington Heights. Here's the pitch. It's a soft ground ball, left side foul, fielded by Esquivel in foul territory.
That had to be an off-speed pitch as far out in front of as he was.
Yeah. Garrett was behind the fastball earlier in the at-bat. Another 0-2 pitch from Luke Esquivel, taken just a bit off the plate. Ball 1.
It is cooling off a little bit as the sun goes down.
Yeah. Twilight here in Arlington Heights. The lights are on here from the field. Morgan Garrett fouls one off the catcher and stays alive. 4th time he's fouled off a ball with 2 strikes.
Yeah, he is making Luke work right here. It was an 0-2 count, and Luke hasn't been able to get one by him.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second for the Yellow Jackets. No score in the second inning. Esquivel's toss. Garrett swings through it and misses the off speed. Esquivel gets the strikeout. So he gets through the second inning with 2 Ks and strands a runner at first. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. Neither team has scored through 2 innings. You're watching Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Baby, yeah, I can show you the way. A little bass is all you need, babe. Let me show you how we play. Don't wanna think too much about it.
That's right, that's right.
Don't wanna go too long without it. Everyone's talking all about it. Everybody all across the world. So if you with me, go on and shout it. I go mine. Lesson 1, pen and paper takes some notes. It's a vibe, let me show you how it goes. Throw your hands to the sky, way up high. We ain't never looked so fly. It's like music to my eyes. Let them know we ain't never gonna stop. Elevating, we gon' take it to the top. Celebrating, never waiting, always slaying. It's no wonder everybody wanna do it all the time. I throw my hands up, raise them to the sky. We keep it rocking all the time. I throw my hands up, raise them to the sky. We leave them up there all night. I throw my hands up, raise them to the sky. We keep it rocking all the time.
The second baseman, number 8, Will Newton.
Well, the 9-1 and 2 hitters coming up for the Grapevine Mustangs. And the top of the third inning, no score for either team so far. Arlington Heights' Morgan Garrett into his motion and tosses in a first pitch strike to Will Newton to open up the third inning.
Scoreless innings are nothing new for Morgan Garrett. He had 39 consecutive scoreless innings last year as a junior at one stretch.
That is impressive. He gets a called strike here. He's ahead 0-2. 39 innings in a row.
That's almost 6 complete games.
Yeah, I mean, that's
That's crazy.
absurd. And that's not just earned runs. That's scoreless innings in a row. And last season, which is just crazy. 2 scoreless here in a row today against a good hitting Grapevine team, including 5 strikeouts of the 6 outs he has put in the books. His 0-2 pitch low and in for a ball, 1-2.
Yeah, Will Newton at the plate, and Trey informed me that Will's hitting .333 on the season. We saw Will have a big hit in the Hebron game a Saturday about 6 weeks ago.
He's trying to lead off and get aboard here in the third inning. The 1-2 pitch is a chopper back to the mound. Morgan Garrett fields on the hill, throws accurately to first base, and fields his position well on this occasion. Gets the out of Will Newton for a 1-3 putout. Top of the order now, Luke Esquivel coming out.
Luke Esquivel.
Well, Arlington Heights has done well to hold Grapevine hitters in check today. This Mustangs team in their most recent game before today had scored 17 runs. First pitch to Esquivel is below the knees for a ball. That was in only 4 innings. They played Richland and got the 10-run rule in 5 innings and didn't need a bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they won 17-1. Only needing 4 innings to get those 17 tallies. Here's a called strike on Esquivel, and it's 1-1. Scored 17, only allowed 1 hit in the win over Esquivel, especially off the bullpen, which they have not seen a reliever today against Arlington Heights. Here's a pitch outside, and it's 2-1. Mitchell Carpenter pitched a complete game in Game 1, took the loss, his first of the season.
Yeah, if you look at the whole month of April, the Mustangs have only been held under 7 runs twice now.
The fly ball down the left side will slice foul.
They won the April 1st game against Denton Ryan 4-0. So that 2-run output in Game 1 is by far the lowest run total in quite a while for the Mustangs.
And even those 2 runs were, in a sense, gifts from Arlington Heights. Here's the pitch to Esquivel. It's a hard line drive foul on the right side. But there were a couple errors by the pitcher in that 2-run inning that Grapevine got. There were 3 walks in the frame in a row, a couple wild pitches. So
Exactly.
it was enough, though, for Grapevine to get the win. They'll take it. 2-2 pitch, a line drive, left side in foul territory.
Well, Luke's just rifling them off down that left field line.
Esquivel had to battle with Morgan Garrett in the top half or the bottom half of this last inning, and now they're facing in opposite direction. Morgan Garrett pitching and Esquivel hitting, takes the pitch inside. Garrett fouled off 4 pitches with 2 strikes, and now Esquivel kind of giving him a little bit of his own medicine as the pitcher and hitter face off in back-to-back half innings. 3 balls, 2 strikes in this Garrett versus Esquivel battle. And the payoff to Luke is swung on and missed. Both times the pitcher wins the battle. Esquivel ended up getting Morgan Garrett out last half inning, and now Esquivel strikes out. Both guys strike the other one out.
Center fielder number 2, Zach Goldstein.
Still no score, nobody on. 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning.
Zach's got the only hit so far for the Mustangs in game 2. Had that single up the middle his first at bat.
On a 1-2 pitch, and he found a hole. First toss here, the at-bat is low. Ball 1 to Zach Goldstein. That was his first hit of the day. He went 0 for 2 in game 1. Had a ground ball that might have found a way up the right field side had the first baseman not been holding a runner on. The ball was hit almost right to the bag. But an unlucky play for Goldstein. Takes a pitch to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Did draw a walk and scored a run. And playing center field once again. Time is called. Morgan Garrett set with his glove next to his belt buckle, and his pitch is taken high for a ball 2-1. Two outs, nobody on for Goldstein. The next pitch is on the lower outside edge for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Goldstein.
Yeah, Zach just kind of shook his head right there, and I don't think I would have tried to hit that pitch either. It was down and away.
The next pitch to Goldstein is hit off the end of the barrel and skims foul behind home plate.
He had a good cut at that one. He was on time.
Left-handed batter steps back in to face the righty Morgan Garrett. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Garrett delivers. And the pitch on the low outside corner, strike 3 taken. Another K for Morgan Garrett, 2 in a row this inning. And he has struck out 7 through 3 innings of play. Effective work for the right-hander, Morgan Garrett. And we are still scoreless through 2.5 innings from Arlington Heights Field. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in a huddle, you know they in trouble. We bustin' they bubble. I know that we.
Luke Esquivel ready to go in the bottom of the 3rd inning. His first pitch to Jaden Fernandez is a swung on strike. And we're on in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Neither team has scored yet. It's been a somewhat similar game to game 1 in that it's been a slow start offensively. Fernandez takes a swing and pops a little nubber towards the shortstop, and it's grabbed in the air by Grapevine shortstop Connor Ray for out number 1.
number 6, Noah Castillo.
Now the difference for game 2 is that neither team has really threatened very much, not getting a runner to 3rd yet, and neither team has gotten multiple base runners on in an inning yet. Game 1 was defined by missed opportunities, with both teams setting the table but not scoring. The first pitch to Noah Castillo, top of the order, now is a ball, and it's 1-0 to Castillo, who struck out in his first at-bat against Luke Esquivel.
Yeah, both starting pitchers have been dominant so far.
Pitches a strike 1-1, especially Morgan Garrett. 7 strikeouts of the 9 outs he has gotten, and no runs allowed, just 1 hit, a single, and no walks.
Hard to do a whole lot of damage with that many strikeouts.
Yeah. A foul ball to make it 1-2. Esquivel has not quite been as overpowering, but 3 strikeouts is nothing to be ashamed of his first 7 outs that he has recorded. No walks as well, so he's helped his own case in that regard. He did allow a single in both innings, but stranded both runners. Here's the pitch to Castillo. It's underneath the zone, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stranded a runner at second base in both innings. 1-2 the count to Luke Esquivel. Goes into his wind, and the southpaw's pitch, again low, 3-2. Pardon me, 2-2 from Esquivel. The outfielder's playing pretty much straight up. Boswell playing way behind the bag at first base. Here's the pitch. It is popped up to the left side. It's a long run coming in for Powers, and it's the shortstop, Ray, who makes the catch over his shoulder in shallow left field. Tremendous play by Connor Ray.
Yeah, what a play. He had his back to the infield, and that's one of the better plays you'll see all night for sure.
Really good catch going out towards left field. I thought it was either going to be Powers or nobody, but then it became obvious that it was going to drop too close to the infield for Powers to have a chance, and Ray was able to make the play. 2 down, nobody on, and a chance for Esquivel's first 1-2-3 inning today. Misses for a ball to Adrian Reyes, the 2-hole hitter. Esquivel deals in the 1-0 pitch, and it ski balls off the mid of Max Dalkey and gets to the backstop. Ball 2.
I'd like to see Thomas take a few steps in. He's definitely playing deeper than Brady was playing in game 1 out in left field. Ball's not carrying that well that way.
The pitch is swung on and missed by Reyes, and it's 2-1. Brady Boozer switching from one corner outfield spot to the other. He was in left field game 1 and back to right field game 2. Esquivel winds, and his toss. A line drive left side, 1 bounce into Ray's glove. The shortstop fires to first, gets it there in time. Great inning defensively by Connor Ray. He makes all 3 plays. A soft liner, a great over-the-shoulder catch, and a ground ball. He makes the throw to first. That is a highlight inning for Connor Ray, and it's a scoreless frame for Luke Esquivel. We are done with 3 innings, no score. From Arlington Heights Field, this is Mustang Baseball live from Tradio. Well, the middle of the order coming up for the Grapevine Mustangs in the top half of the 4th inning. Through 3 innings from Thomas Ray Elliott Field. No runs for either team. 1 hit for Grapevine, 2 hits for Arlington Heights. Morgan Garrett fires in the first pitch of the inning. It's a called strike to Jarrett Boswell, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, it'd be good to see Jarrett get going here. He hadn't had a hit today.
Boswell struck out in the first inning. The 0-1 toss on the outer corner, 0-2.
I believe we were asked to give a shout out to Jeremy Boswell in Detroit, Texas. I've been to Detroit, Texas. I've had some deer processed there. That's about 30 minutes from my deer camp.
Boswell takes a cut and comes up empty to strike out. First out of the inning.
So Garrett continues the strikeout trend.
Number 11, Lolly Esquivel.
8 strikeouts of 10 outs he's recorded today. He has encountered 12 hitters. 1 single and 1 error were the other 2 hitters that got aboard. 1 out, and Lolly Esquivel, the hitter, tried to check his swing, and he did so successfully. It's low and away for a ball, 1-0. Esquivel struck out on an 0-2 pitch back in the first inning when Morgan Garrett struck out the side in the first. Pitches outside for a ball, 2-0. That was the only hit he has allowed in the first, in the middle of those 3 strikeouts. Then he struck out 2 more in the second inning, 2 more in the third inning. And he strikes out the leadoff man here in the fourth. He's punched out 3 in a row. His 2-0 pitch to Esquivel, a big hack from Lolly Esquivel. It would not have been a strike. It was low and away. He's now got a 2-1 count.
Yeah, tough 2-0 pitch right there. Lolly, no doubt, was looking for a fastball and got some type of slider. Look, get out of here.
Now he pops it up foul. We'll get out of play.
First time Lolly's bat has been quiet in quite a while.
Esquivel came into the day hitting .496 on the season, but he is hitless today. He's grounded into a double play. He has struck out twice. Does have a walk. Takes a pitch at the bottom of the zone, and he strikes out looking. 9th strikeout of the day for Morgan Garrett. Struck out 4 in a row,
Designated hitter number 24,
and 9
Giovanni Corral.
with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Giovanni Corral, the designated hitter, comes up. He's the last guy to get aboard. Got aboard via an error. Corral takes a swing and fouls it back. If you don't count the fielder's choice, Brady Boozer was on base after him with that fielder's choice, and then no base runner since then with 6 strikeouts of the last 7 batters. The only non-strikeout was a ground ball back to Garrett. So he has made all the plays. Throws over the head of Corral for a ball, and it's 1-1.
Not really the part of the lineup to try this, but maybe some guys with some speed. I wouldn't mind seeing us try a base hit bunt just to try and break his rhythm.
1-1 pitch, swing and a foul back, and if that was in the mind of Corral before, it will not be anymore. 2 strikes.
Yeah, he wants to swing away.
Yeah.
There's a couple other guys I'm thinking about.
Sure. Corral at the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. Boozer with better speed is on deck for Grapevine. If the inning gets to him, Corral takes a swing, and the inning will not get to Boozer. Morgan Garrett strikes out the side in order, and he has struck out 5 in a row and 10 through 4 innings. He has been electric today against this good offensive team in the Grapevine Mustangs. We head on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Neither team has scored. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. To the bottom of the fourth inning, Mitchell Carpenter takes a first pitch ball from Luke Esquivel. No score here in the bottom of the fourth inning from Arlington Heights High School. Final game of the regular season for Grapevine and Arlington Heights. No score in a pitcher's duel so far in this second game of the doubleheader. Carpenter takes the ball. He was the pitcher in game one and pitched well, allowing just 2 runs. Not as well as his counterpart, Morgan Garrett, his teammate Morgan Garrett, who has gone 4 scoreless innings, striking out 10 of the 12 outs he has recorded with just 1 single allowed, no walks.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
He lost the bat. Carpenter pinwheels it towards the first base dugout. Everybody seems to be okay.
Yeah, he woke up his dugout. First time I've seen that happen in a while.
Helicoptered almost into the dugout from Mitchell Carpenter and gets the bat back and steps back into the box. Esquivel into his wind, and his pitch is low for ball 3. Three and 1 the count to Mitchell Carpenter. Pitched a complete game in game one. Here's the toss. It is on the outer half for a strike to bring the count full. Carpenter had an infield single today. Did not help his own case in game one. He went hitless. He did draw a walk, but was 0 for 2. Fouls off the next pitch, and we'll do the payoff over again.
They said he's going to be a two-way player at UT Tyler, so I guess they like his bat in addition to his arm.
6'7", right-handed pitcher, but left-handed batter. His teammate Morgan Garrett, who's pitched so well in game two, is headed to Cisco College. 3-2 pitch. It is low, ball 4. The leadoff walk.
Yeah, it would have been a strike on some of the hitters, but not at 6'7". He's got some tall kneecaps.
Yeah.
Number 13, Caleb Eager.
Leadoff base runner for the first time today for Arlington Heights, at least first time in this game. Caleb Eager comes up next with nobody out, bottom of the fourth inning. Neither team has gotten on the scoreboard. It was similarly a slow start in game one. It wasn't until the third inning that Grapevine scored, and only until the sixth inning until Arlington Heights scored. Eager showing bunt. He pulls back. The pitch was high and away for ball 1. I wouldn't be surprised if they play for a run here and try to sacrifice Carpenter to second base, manufacture a run. It seems like you might be able to win today's ball game, this game two, with 1 or 2 runs.
He's
Carpenter
running
off to the races. The pitch taken for a strike. The throw to second, not nearly in time, and Carpenter swipes second base.
He got a huge jump right there. I was thinking normally you would not bunt with your cleanup hitter, but their starting pitcher has been so dominant. Garrett has really shut down the Mustangs. 1 run may be all they need.
So Carpenter at second base with nobody out in the fourth inning. Esquivel deals, and Eager takes inside for a ball. He gets ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. You can see a bit of why UT Tyler likes Mitchell Carpenter as a two-way player, even though he was replaced for a courtesy runner when he was pitching in game one. He runs for himself here in game 2 and steals a base, and it was not close. He's the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Esquivel steps off the rubber before his 2-1 pitch to Caleb Eager. Eager grounded out to short in his first at-bat today. That closed the first inning in the second game. Here's the pitch, and it's at the bottom of the zone for a strike. A bluff steal from Carpenter, but he stays at second base.
Yeah, even though Eager squared the bunt early on that second pitch, he's clearly up there to swing the bat. He was just trying to distract our catcher, move that bat across the eye line.
2 balls, 2 strikes from Luke Esquivel. Stayers at second, now deals home and misses down and in to run the count full, just like it was to Mitchell Carpenter, who worked that full count into a walk.
Seem to be having some scoreboard issues out there. I don't know if Tradio's tied into their scoreboard, but their scoreboard doesn't seem to be working.
Esquivel comes set, looks back at second. Carpenter not taking a huge lead. Here is the payoff. It's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Carpenter around third. He will score easily. The throw is cut off near the mound, and Arlington Heights has its first lead of the day today here in Game 2. It's an RBI single by Caleb Eager.
Yeah, just a well-hit ball up the middle. Nothing you can do about that. Zach never had a play at the plate there, so he hits the cutoff man. Kept that hitter Eager at first base.
Runner at first base, number 21, Jaden Lee, running for the catcher.
Infielders are going to have a conference out here on the mound. Nobody hurt, just one run, but definitely want to shut down the damage here because Garrett has been so dominant against the Mustang hitters.
Like you said, with Morgan Garrett overpowering Grapevine hitters so far today, 10 strikeouts through 4 innings. If he is able to go the distance or close to the distance, this one-run lead feels somewhat massive.
It does.
Jaden Lee is the runner now for Arlington Heights, the courtesy runner, replacing the catcher Caleb Eager. RBI base hit for Eager puts the Yellow Jackets ahead. They did not lead in Game 1 at any point. They take a lead here in the 4th inning in Game 2. Esquivel steps off the rubber and bluffs a throw towards Jaden Lee. Aaron Dantata is the hitter for the Jackets.
He squared the bunt early, and he's squaring early again.
Shows the barrel. Here is the pitch. He does not make an attempt at a bunt, but he does take a strike.
Might be a good idea for Luke to check that runner over here at first base. Don't let him get another huge jump.
Jaden Lee takes a medium-sized lead from first base. They do throw that way. They almost made a move towards home as his right leg raised. He kind of twinged towards home plate and then brought it towards first base, but no balk is called. Runner at first, still nobody out for Arlington Heights, which has already scored a run here in this inning. A leadoff walk for Mitchell Carpenter, then a base hit for Caleb Eager. He's off to the races. The pitch is low, no throw to second base. Second steal of the inning, and Jaden Lee into second base.
So the Yellow Jackets have gotten aggressive here on the base paths. They are, at least in this game, they get a runner at first base and they're running.
And has come into play this inning because that single scored Carpenter from second after his steal. Here is a bunt attempt. He missed it. Dantana did make an attempt, and it's called a strike. The count is now 1-2. If he had not stolen second, Carpenter, maybe that single just advanced him to second, maybe to third, but he would not have scored. But
yeah, he might not even have gone to third on that ball.
Here's the 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss from Dantana, and Esquivel picks up the strikeout, first out of the inning.
Good strikeout right there. Keeps that runner at second base. You definitely don't want him to move him to third, especially with only one out.
Bryson Tenorio.
1 for 1 on the day. Bryson Tenorio climbs in as a single into right center field off the glove of the second baseman Newton, who wasn't able to keep it in the infield. It was ruled a hit. So
he's
Tenorio
running
1 for 1. Runners going. The throw to third base on the steal attempt is not in time and pulls Esquivel off the bag. 2 steals in the sequence in the inning for Jaden Lee, the courtesy runner. And he's at third base now for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, they're getting big jumps. Maybe just need to freeze them and try a few pickoff moves, but don't let them time you up like that.
Runner at third, 1 down. 1-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets. Here's the pitch. Check swing, he held back. A ball to Tenorio. It's 1-1. Sacrifice fly in order for Tenorio if he can get one into the outfield. The infield is pulled in. All 4 infielders even with the bag or closer. Here's the pitch. High and away to the backstop. Lee comes home sprinting. No throw. He slides in feet first. and scores. It's 2-0 Yellow Jackets. Got aboard on a single, did Caleb Eager, replaced by Lee, who stole second, stole third, scored on a wild pitch. Courtesy runner comes in big for Arlington Heights. They lead at 2-0 over Grapevine. Similar to when Grapevine led 2-0 at this point in the game in Game 1. Here's the pitch Tenorio takes at the knees for a strike. It's 2-2.
I believe they've done all this damage this inning with one hit. This is kind of a recipe from our playbook in Game 1.
That's right. Here's the pitch to Tenorio in the dirt, 3-2. The only runs that Grapevine got in Game 1 were in the third inning, an inning in which they got just one hit.
Yeah, again, they mixed in some walks, some stolen bases, and then a wild pitch.
The toss to Tenorio is at the knees, strike 3. He started to jog up the first baseline, but he is a strikeout victim of Luke Esquivel. Back-to-back punch-outs for Esquivel, 2 down. Adrian Tristan, the batter.
Adrian Tristan.
This inning began with a Mitchell Carpenter walk on a 3-2 pitch, and that has not unraveled per se, but it did lead ultimately to 2 runs. Tristan takes a big swing in the first offering and doesn't get it, 0-1. Tristan flew out to center field on a fairly hard-hit line drive. He's 0 for 1 today, and the pitch is taken low and outside, 1-1. Morgan Garrett on deck for the Yellow Jackets, the pitcher who has diced up this Mustang order. Here's the toss, swing and a miss on a fastball. It's 1-2.
I will say this is the first time the Mustangs have been behind in quite a while. We know they haven't lost in 11 games, but I'm struggling to remember the last time they were behind in a game.
12 straight wins for Grapevine, dating back to the middle of March, the last time they suffered a defeat. They trail 2-0 to Arlington Heights in the top 20 matchup here in the 5A level final game of the regular season. Esquivel's pitch, a swing and a miss on the 1-2, and he strikes out the side, 3 straight strikeouts, but he allows 2 runs, a walk, a single, and 3 stolen bases in the inning. And Arlington Heights goes ahead 2-0 over Grapevine. 4 innings in the books. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
We're winners now, let's take it. We're winners now, let's take it. Yeah, come on, let's go. We got this. Yeah. Still winners. We born winners. Yeah. Let's get it. Go. Let's do this. Go. That's right. We on a mission, y'all. Yeah. Let's go. We taking the top position. Smash the opposition. Victory in our hearts. We're winners now. Let's take it. We're winners now. Let's take it. We're winners now. Let's take it. We taking the top position. Smash the opposition. Victory in our hearts. We're winners now. Let's take it. We're winners now. Let's take it. We're winners now. Let's take it. Come on. Let's get it, y'all. We got this. Victory in our hearts. Go. Ready for battle. Go. Never settle. Yeah.
6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up in this top of the 5th inning for the Grapevine Mustangs. Down 2-0 now. Brady Boozer grounds a ball to the second baseman, backhanded cleanly by Adrian Reyes, and he throws out Boozer for the out. 1 pitch and 1 out for Morgan Garrett.
Yeah, that was one of the harder hit balls we've had against Garrett. Nice play right there by the second baseman, who went a bit to his right and backhanded that and made a nice throw to get Brady.
So Boozer is not a strikeout victim. 10 strikeouts in the day for Morgan Garrett, but if he's going to get an out that's not a strikeout, might as well be on the first pitch to help out that pitch count. 1 out, nobody on for Morgan Garrett. His first pitch to Thomas Powers is a called strike.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Mustangs, Garrett's only thrown 72 pitches on the ball game, so he's well under any pitch restrictions and has just looked stronger each inning, it seems.
Top of the 5th, a check swing foul ball behind home plate from Powers. He's down 0-2. That's the one thing with high strikeout pitchers is it tends to raise the pitch count. It's hard to go deeper in games if every at-bat you're throwing at least 3 and usually 5, 6 pitches to get a strikeout. The 0-2 toss outside, ball 1.
Yeah, that is a trend you typically see. Garrett has had some, I think, 3 and 4 pitch strikeouts. He's thrown, of his 74 pitches now, 54 have been strikes.
This is low and away, 2-2. He has not allowed a base runner since Brady Boozer back in the 2nd inning. 9 in a row set down. A check swing, he went around, another strikeout. 11th strikeout of the day from Morgan Garrett.
It's a lot of strikeouts in the top of the 5th inning.
That ground ball by Brady Boozer snapped a streak of 5 consecutive strikeouts from Morgan Garrett. He starts a new streak here, retiring Thomas Powers with the K. First pitch to Connor Ray is taken, a called strike.
I like how Connor's been swinging the bat today. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up the Mustang's 2nd hit right here.
Ray, the 8-hole hitter for Grapevine. The pitch to him is flying to right center field.
That's
and a
deep.
hard hit,
That's
very
deep.
hard get all the way to the wall, and it lands at the base of the fence and
Keep
skips
running.
back in front
Keep
of the center
running.
fielder. Ray around second base to third. The throw in from center will hold him to a triple. It's a 2-out, 3-bagger for Connor Ray.
That's the 2nd ball he's hit off the wall, and I did say I like the way he's been swinging. So every once in a while I get one right.
His 3rd hit of the day, a double, a single, a triple. Is a home run shy of the cycle.
Boy, if he had just pulled that ball a little bit more, that was well hit. Hit around that B sign on the where it says baseball in right center. Had to be at least probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 360.
A 2-out triple. Can Grapevine make something of it here and get on the board? They trail 2-0. Will Newton, the hitter.
That ball took such a big bounce away from that center fielder for a second there. I thought, man, we might be able to send him home, but they got the ball in time.
So Ray at third base, representing the first run of the game for Grapevine, having given up 2 runs last inning. A swing and a foul ball from Newton. It's 0-1.
He had a good cut at that right there. Yeah, just around that, under that would be my guess.
Newton ready for the next pitch from Morgan Garrett. It is low. 1 ball and 1 strike from Garrett. Garrett struck out the side in the 1st inning and in the 4th. He has struck out at least 2 in every inning. Only 1 strikeout so far this inning. The 1-1 pitch, a ground ball, skims off the mound, fielded by the shortstop, goes to first in time, and a 0 on the board. Connor Ray triples, but he is stranded at third base. And Arlington Heights keeps the shutout alive through 5 innings. We head to the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 Arlington Heights. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Running through my veins. This streak is over. I'm 3 moves ahead. So kiss the ring now, 'cause this checkmate. I'm a soldier, but I told you you must be a betting man. Well,
Pitcher number 1, Morgan Garrett.
On to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 2-0 ball game with Arlington Heights leading over the Grapevine Mustangs. New pitcher into the ball game, Sam Durard, comes in to replace Luke Esquivel. And he will face Arlington Heights pitcher Morgan Garrett to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets.
Hey, I was looking back last week. Sam pitched Thursday night against Richland, closed that game out, went 1 inning, and had 2 strikeouts, and he's had a couple of really good outings in a row.
His first pitch of the day is a fly ball from Garrett into center field, playable for Zach Goldstein, still drifting back, but he makes the play in straightaway center, a little bit shaded towards right center on the fly ball by Morgan Garrett, and 1 away. Well, Luke Esquivel finishes his day on the mound. He finished strong. He struck out the final 3 batters he faced, albeit in an inning in which 2 runs came home. A couple of stolen bases played a big role, 1 walk and 1 single, and that resulted in 2 runs. First pitch to Jaden Hernandez is a ball.
Yeah, looking at the box score on Luke, he actually didn't give up an earned run. Went 4 innings with only 1 hit allowed, and at least that's what Game Changer shows. The scoreboard shows 3 hits. So, I'm sorry, I'm looking at last week's game. That doesn't make sense. I need to get on the right game.
Yeah, 3 hits allowed by Esquivel, 6 strikeouts, no walks, no hit batters, and 2 runs, both earned.
That's right.
Durard's pitch on the 1-1 is taken a called strike, 1-2.
We mentioned in the pregame that this is also a look at another pitcher that the Mustangs are probably going to need in the playoffs. When you get into the best 2 out of 3 series, it's you're not going to get by usually with only 3 pitchers, and Lolly and Sam have been those number 3 and number 4 pitchers in the games that seem to matter the most.
Here's a ground ball right back to the mound. Durard fields it cleanly, throws a bit up the line, and Boswell goes into foul territory to grab it, but keeps his foot on the bag and gets the out. 2 down here in the 5th inning.
Center fielder number 6, Noah.
Top of the order now.
Castillo.
With the bases empty, Noah Castillo, the hitter.
We have managed to keep him hitless in Game 2 after he had 2 hits in Game 1.
A strikeout and a pop out. It was an impressive catch from the shortstop Ray to keep Castillo off the base paths. He takes a ball here in the dirt. It was an over-the-shoulder catch with Ray running out into shallow left field, and he made the play to retire Castillo back in the 3rd inning. 1-0 delivery. Castillo watches it below the zone. He's ahead 2-0.
Yeah, Connor made all 3 outs in that inning, and he's having a nice game. He has that triple off the wall.
Here's the next pitch, and it is low again, 3-0. Connor Ray made all 3 plays in that 3rd inning and then didn't have a chance to make a putout in the 4th inning. All 3 outs were strikeouts. And then here in this inning, a fly out to center and a ground out. Here's the pitch. It is low for ball 4. And a 2-out walk to Noah Castillo. Brings up Adrian Reyes, who has grounded out to short on 2 occasions, including that 3rd inning that Connor Ray made all 3 plays, 1 assist and 2 putouts. Reyes was the 3rd of the 3, a 6-3 ground out, both in the 1st and 3rd innings. Esquivel set, and his pitch in the dirt, and Dahlke couldn't corral it, tried to stop it with his glove instead of going down to his knees. That does allow Castillo to second base. Will still be a wild pitch, but Dahlke had a chance to stop that one. It skipped in the dirt just in front of his glove and then clipped off the front of his mitt, went to the backstop. Runner at second now for Arlington Heights, 2 down.
It's a little surprised they weren't trying to run on that at first base. And that one gets by him.
Another one to the backstop, and Castillo after a 2-out walk, is at third base 2 pitches later.
I don't know if they had their signs crossed because that didn't look like that bad of a pitch. I thought Max could have got a glove on it.
Adrian Reyes ahead 2 balls and no strikes. After 2 straight outs to open the inning, we've seen 6 straight balls from Sam Gerard, including 2 straight wild pitches. This one does find the strike zone. It's 2-1.
The one game that we saw Sam struggle a bit, it was just his control that got away from him. He pitched 3 really good innings and then just struggled to find the strike zone in that 4th inning.
Pitch at the bottom of the zone for a strike. It's 2-2.
Definitely don't want to spot him another run.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch in the dirt, 3-2. 2-0. Arlington Heights leads it. Gerard comes set, and the right-hander kicks. Its pitch is fouled back.
Had a pretty good cut at that one.
Outfield playing straight up, maybe a little bit off the line in left field, not too deep. Second baseman Newton playing all the way behind the infield turf into the right center field turf. It still is turf for another 10 to 12 feet beyond the infield until it turns into real grass. 2-2 pitch popped up down the right side. Possibly a chance for Boozer, and he is able to make the catch. It stayed in the field of play, and Boozer made the grab as he ran up against the fence, and the inning comes to an end, stranding a runner at third base. Nice play by Brady Boozer. So that ends the inning, and no runs come in for Arlington Heights. No hits, no errors, and 1 left aboard. 2-0. The Jackets lead it with 5 innings in the books. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio. The top of the order coming up for Grapevine in the top of the 6th inning, trailing 2-0 to Arlington Heights, and the stalwart pitcher Morgan Garrett on the mound for the Yellow Jackets. His 0-1 pitch is beneath the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrett has struck out 11 batters so far in this ball game through his first 5 innings, so that's 15 outs, 11 of them by the strikeout. His next pitch is high and outside, a fall behind, 2 balls and a strike.
Been tough sledding for the Mustang hitters tonight, but when you get in a good count right here, just look for something that you can square up.
2-1 delivery is a called strike, 2-2.
Yeah.
Garrett has not fallen behind in counts much. He has not walked a batter. And right after getting behind in the count, it comes back even, 2-2.
Seems to really know what to do when he gets 2 strikes on you.
It's 2-2 to Esquivel. It's a ground ball left side, and it is a foul ball up the left field line. Esquivel has been a strikeout victim twice today of Morgan Garrett. There's only been one hitter today who has not struck out against Garrett, and that is the 9-hole hitter, Will Newton. He is 0 for 2, but 2 groundouts. Esquivel takes low, a ball, and now he's 1 ball away from being the first Grapevine Mustang to draw a walk off of Morgan Garrett. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No hit batters, no free passes at all from Garrett. His pitch is low. First walk of the day. It's a leadoff free pass for Luke Esquivel here in the 6th inning.
I'm pretty sure that's the first leadoff base runner we've gotten today.
Center fielder number
That
2.
is
in game 2.
In game 2, yeah. Other than the dropped pop fly by the pitcher Garrett, which was on a leadoff hitter. But yes, no walks or hits by leadoff hitters in game 2.
So that's going to draw a mound visit from the Yellow Jackets coach. He really hasn't had any reason to come out before now, so I guess he wanted to let everyone know he's still in the ballpark tonight.
Travis Rose making the visit for Arlington Heights with his team up 2-0 over Grapevine. Grapevine has done well off the bullpen. It was in last game for Arlington when they were facing Richland. There was a part when the Richland bullpen came in where the Grapevine hitters, 26 batters against the bullpen, only 7 got out. They have not been able to get to the bullpen for Arlington Heights today in either game. First pitch is a strike to Zach Goldstein, to his surprise. He thought it was low, maybe outside.
Yeah, the bullpens are down here by us, and there's no activity for the Yellow Jackets.
The 0-1 pitch, down and in, almost caught the shoelaces of Goldstein. Goldstein has one of just 2 hits off Morgan Garrett today. He had a single in the first inning, was stranded at first base. The other hit was last inning. Connor Ray tripled off the wall. He's a foul ball into the dugout for Grapevine. Hope everyone is okay. Seems like they are. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Zach Goldstein. Runner at first base, nobody out. In the top of the 6th inning, trailing 2-0 to Arlington Heights. Here's the pitch. He whacks it towards short. Off the glove of the shortstop, Hernandez. He is unable to make a play, and everybody is safe.
Zach picks up his 2nd hit. That was well hit, and that's going to be a hit. That's not an error. Shortstop tried to take that on one hop, but that's definitely going to be a base hit.
The runners at first and second for Grapevine with nobody out. First time today that they have gotten multiple base runners on in a single inning, let alone with nobody out. And it brings up Jared Boswell. They do rule it an error, too.
Wow, that's some tough scoring right there.
No surprise, yeah.
I bet our Grapevine guys give that a hit.
It's a called strike and a throw back to second base. And safe. Esquivel gets back in.
I'm going to check the Grapevine scoring on Game Changer. That looked like a hit to me.
It was a hard hit line drive that landed right in front of the shortstop, Hernandez. A short hop, a hard hit ball. I would understand why that ball could be called a hit. Although he didn't have to dive for it, which I'm sure was part of the reason. A throw back to second, a jump from the shortstop, Hernandez, to corral it and keep it on the infield.
So they did call it an E on the Grapevine Game Changer scoring. So unless you're rooting for Zach's batting average, it really doesn't matter in the big picture. The Mustangs have runners at first and second, nobody out.
Showing bunt, takes a pitch high for a ball. It's 1-1. Boswell, the hitter, he struck out both times today. Garrett, despite all the strikeouts, has slowed down a bit on the strikeouts. Last inning was the first time he didn't strike out multiple batters. He had just the one, and then he has not struck out a batter yet this inning. 2 on, nobody out. A bunt attempt popped up down the third baseline. It lands. The throw to first is high and over the first baseman's head up the right field line. 1 run comes in to score, and Grapevine is on the board. Runners on the corners, nobody out.
That wasn't the greatest bunt of all time, but it worked out there. The third baseman throws that ball high, and they had the second baseman covering. I'm going to tell you, if the first baseman is on the bag, but he had to charge, that ball would have been caught because he's about a foot taller than that second baseman. So fortunately, the second baseman was covering the bag and not the first baseman.
Yeah, Mitchell Carpenter, 6'7", the first baseman going into cover. And you could tell that Reyes, not a conventional first baseman. I think if he had to do that over again, he would jump for that ball. He stayed on the bag trying to get the out, and it went over his glove.
Good cut right there by Lally. Yeah, and he's having to get there in a hurry, so he didn't have a whole lot of time to set up when you're sprinting from that second base position.
Throw high from Adrian Tristan, the third baseman. It's a sacrifice bunt and an error. E5 plus the sack. Boswell to first base, safe there. Goldstein to third. A run comes in. It's 2-1. Grapevine trailing. Still nobody out. Pitch is low to Esquivel. Ball 1.
I would start the run at first right here.
First run allowed by Garrett. It's an unearned run.
So I hear from Trey Bell, he would start the runner at first here. I don't see that happening with one strike.
Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Esquivel behind 0-2 or 1-2. He has struck out both times. One time swinging, one time looking.
Really need contact here. You don't want to strike out.
Garrett deals the 2-strike pitch. A hard hit line drive into left center field. Splits the outfielders and gets to the wall on one bounce. It might score 2. It will score 2. Esquivel digging for third. Can he get a 2 RBI triple? Yes, he can.
So the Mustangs come alive here in the top of the 6th inning. I said we need contact here. That was a hell of a lot more than contact. Another wall banger right there for Lally, and this is his bat comes alive, and we knew it would. It's been on fire now for about 6 weeks.
A go-ahead 2 RBI triple. 3-2.
He absolutely smoked that ball.
Morgan Garrett, who is so dominant the first 5 innings of this game, had not allowed a run. You started to see it slip a little bit with that triple by Connor Ray. It did not lead to a run, but it was apparently a sign of things to come. And another triple in this inning, this one to score 2 runs. It's the first hit of the inning, but 3 runs have come in, and Grapevine now leads at 3-2. It looks like they will make a change. And Morgan Garrett's day is done with 11 strikeouts on the day. He does not strike out the batter here in the 6th. And it unravels a little bit for the right-hander who's headed to Cisco College next year. Gives up a 3 spot. They're not all earned. One of them will be unearned, but he is responsible for the runner at third base.
Yeah, Mustang's definitely happy to get into the Yellow Jackets bullpen because he had been tough. They did finally put something together here in this inning. We're helped by a walk and what they called an error on a very hard hit ball by Zach.
Adrian Reyes is the new pitcher. Come in for Arlington Heights. Morgan Garrett goes out into the field. Looks like a straight switch where Garrett and Reyes will just trade places. Garrett becomes the second baseman, which is where Reyes was playing. He was the guy who tried to cover first in the bunt, was unable to bring that throw from third base in on the E5.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets are going to come up and play on the grass and try and cut down another run if it's on the infield. They don't want to spot the Mustangs another run, but there's nobody out, so got a couple chances to drive that run in.
Giovanni Corral almost hit on the first pitch. It gets to the backstop. He tells Esquivel to stay put at third base, which he does. Runner at third for the Mustangs, trying to increase a 3-2 lead in the top of the 6th inning. Both games oddly similar. One team takes a 2-0 lead in the middle. The other team scores for the first time in the 6th inning. Here's a fly ball to shallow left center field. Castillo coming in, loses the ball cap. He makes the catch. Esquivel was not tagging. He was partway down the line at third, and he returns to third, first out of the inning.
Yeah, that ball was just not deep enough to tag on. Even our speediest runner wouldn't have tagged right there.
Right fielder number 9, Brady Boozer.
Good start for Adrian Reyes, who gets Corral to fly out. Brady Boozer, the next hitter, who has grounded into a fielder's choice and grounded out in his 2 at-bats. Both ground outs to the right side of the infield for the left-hand hitter. Here's the pitch. Boozer takes in the dirt, ball 1.
It's a really nice play Brady had to end that last inning up against the fence. He hit that fence pretty hard and still held on to that ball.
He did make a tremendous catch to end that inning. I thought it was going to get out of play. Takes a pitch. It's 1-1.
I'm going to say the same thing I said to Lolly. We need contact here.
Yeah. Maybe they'll lead him to hit a triple. Here's the pitch, way high, and a breaking ball, 2-1. So Brady Boozer at the plate, looking for his first hit of the day. He is 0 for 5, but he's put the ball in play every time in his 5 at-bats over the 2 games. Pitch is low, 3-1.
We'll take one in the right center gap for a sac fly like he hit in game 1. That would do the job right here to bring in another run.
Adrian Reyes comes set, and the pitcher deals. Boozer takes a big swing, pops it up. It's playable for the third baseman, and Tristan makes the catch. Adrian Tristan pulls it in for out number 2. Good start for Adrian Reyes. There's a runner at third, nobody out. And he is perhaps going to be able to get out of the inning without further damage. That runner is Morgan Garrett's responsibility. It will not be an earned run now since there was an error earlier this inning, and now there are 2 outs. So Garrett's line is effectively done.
Sam is going to have to hit here because he came in for Luke on the mound.
Luke stayed in at left.
And the DH spot was at catcher. So that's why Sam Gerard, who's normally not a hitter, is hitting right here.
In a big spot, trying to get an insurance run with 2 down.
Yeah, he's on the mound, so he can make it a little more comfortable for himself when he gets back out there.
1-1 pitch and a swing and a miss. Reyes really jumps off the mound to kind of shorten the space between the rubber and the plate. Adrian Reyes comes at, the right-hander kicks and pops the glove. It's outside to keep the count, or even the count 2-2.
He's another guy that's got sneaky velocity, and again, he's not a big guy and brings it pretty good.
Here's the pitch way upstairs, 3-2. Runner at third is Lale Esquivel. He tripled to bring in 2 runs. He would love to also score and give the Mustangs an insurance run. The pitch is on the inside corner. Strike 3 taken, and Reyes gets out of it. 3 straight outs to avoid another run coming in, stranding a runner at third. And Grapevine has to be content with the 3 runs. Their first runs of the game puts them ahead 3-2. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here from Arlington Heights. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
We go. Great baseball action. On Friday night here
In my arms, will you surrender your heart? Whoa, whoa. I give myself time and time, still I can't be sure what's on your mind until you surrender your heart. Do you
Well, Sam Gerard back to the mound for the Grapevine Mustangs, now pitching with a lead for the first time in this game. Gerard's first pitch to Mitchell Carpenter, lanky left-handed hitter, is in the dirt for a ball. 3-2, the Mustangs in front, trying to defend their #1 status in the 5A rankings.
I believe Gianni is back behind the plate now.
Gianni Corral caught game 1. And the battery made of Sam Gerard. Next pitch is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike from Sam Gerard. Gerard winds, and the righty's pitch is taken low for ball 2, and it's 2-1. Grapevine scoring 3 runs last half inning, including a 2-run triple by Esquivel. That was Lale Esquivel to put Grapevine in front for the first time this game. 1-run advantage for the Mustangs. This pitch is taken for a strike, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Sam Gerard. Goes into his wind. And the pitch is a little bit outside, ball 3, 3-2.
Good to see Sam pitch in a big spot here because admittedly his last few outings the Mustangs have had big leads.
A payoff pitch. Carpenter takes a big swing and does not get it. Strike 3 for the first out of the inning. Sam Gerard gets the K.
Yeah, Sam's got a good fastball, and he threw it by Carpenter right there.
13, Caleb Eager.
Gerard had a good inning on the mound last frame. He allowed 1 walk but no hits and stranded a runner at third, no runs. Now he strikes out the first man, Carpenter, and faces Caleb Eager, who had the biggest hit of the day for Arlington Heights so far. First pitch is in the dirt to Eager. He had a single for an RBI, and then the courtesy runner that replaced him later on scored, which gave Arlington Heights what seemed like an insurmountable 2-0 lead, the way that Morgan Garrett was pitching, until Grapevine finally got to Garrett, the pitcher. Pitch is low for a ball, 2-0.
I'd like to see our outfield play a little bit deeper here. This is a spot where you don't want to give up a double, so if you play a little bit deeper, you can have a better shot at keeping that ball out of the gaps.
Gerard into his wind, and his pitch is fouled back.
He took a big hack right there.
Two balls and 1 strike to Caleb Eager. Grapevine's pitching needing to come up big here in the final 2 innings to try to sweep the doubleheader.
I think Coach Washburn's listening to Tradio over there. He just had Luke back up about 4 or 5 steps.
There's a pitch in the dirt, 3-1. Grapevine's pitching did well against Richland. They only allowed 5 hits over the 2 games last week, outscoring Richland 33-2 over the pair of games. Allowed 1 run in game 1 today, 2 runs so far here. The next pitch, breaking ball, lofted over to the right side, slicing towards the line. It lands a foul ball. A foul ball is called. It looked like it might have landed on the line. It was close, but a foul ball is called. To the surprise of Caleb Eager, he didn't realize he got all the way to second, realizes that ball was called foul, and his mouth is agape.
They called it foul, Brady. They did.
Wow, that was close. It was very close to the chalk. Brady's taking a second here to.
So Caleb Eager takes the long walk from second base and what he thought was a double to walk back to the plate.
I don't think the hitter liked the call, and quite honestly, he had a pretty good view at it running down first base line. But first base umpire was also fairly close to the action.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Eager takes low. He will get aboard anyways, not by a double, but he does draw a walk, and the tying run is aboard for Arlington Heights. Let's see if he's replaced by Jaden Lee once again. Aaron Dantana is the hitter for the Yellow Jackets, and he will be swapped out for a courtesy runner.
Number 3, Aaron
Jaden Lee came in to courtesy run for Caleb Eager back in the 4th inning. He stole second, stole third, scored on a wild pitch. If he does something similar here, he would score the tying run.
Lee, courtesy runner at first.
See a little bit of activity over there in the Mustang bullpen. I'm not sure who that is warming up. Probably Blaine Swartz is what Trey tells me.
Here's the pitch to Aaron Dantana. And he takes it for a called strike from Sam Gerard, 0-1. 3-2, Grapevine in front in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 out and 1 on for the Yellow Jackets at home, trying to come back and reclaim a lead here. They were up 2-0 for 2 innings until that 3-run frame. A throw back to first, and Lee gets back in safely.
This is a pinch runner, but I don't know if they'll be as aggressive on the bases now that we've gone back to our starting catcher, Gianni, back there behind the plate.
That's a good point. Those 2 steals were on Dahlke, the previous catcher. Now it's Corral behind the dish. 0-1 the count. Dantana brushed off the plate. Scoots back away from it, and it's still called a strike, though, 0-2. Gerard a chance to get the second out of the inning. Runner at first. 3-2 lead for Grapevine here in the 6th inning. 3 hits for both clubs. The difference, in a sense, is the 3 errors that Heights has committed. Here's the 0-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of Corral, and he holds on for strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning for Sam Gerard.
Good job right there, Sam.
Next batter for the Jackets, Bryson Tenorio. Grapevine on a 12-game winning streak extended earlier today in the front half of this doubleheader with that 2-1 victory over Arlington Heights. They've won 12 in a row dating back to March 17th. The throw over to first, and Lee dives back in safely. Last year when Grapevine was on its way to a state title, they also had a double-digit win streak. At about this time of year, they had won 10 straight before losing to Argyle near the end of the season. They won the last couple of the regular season. Lee is off the races, but it's a hit batter, the first hit batter for either team in either of the 2 games today. Bryson Tenorio takes one on the back, and now runners at first and second with 2 down.
Base runner had a big jump there. I'm not sure if we would have got him anyway.
So Adrian Tristan, the batter, with 2 down, 2 on, and a 1-run lead for the Mustangs. Mound visit now that Sam Gerard will receive as he walks out with his catcher Gianni Corral back to the mound. Grapevine, again, won 10 straight last year, had that streak snapped. Won the last couple of games of the regular season. They made it through 14 postseason games last year, 7 different opponents, including Argyle. That was the team that snapped their streak in the regular season. They came back in the postseason to play Argyle again. They actually lost the first game of that regional title, but won the series, winning the final 2 games of that best of 3. Sammy Kelly with 3 hits and 3 RBIs in the finale of that series, a 5-inning Mercy Rule game in the final one against Argyle. He's now at Tyler Junior College, by the way. Sammy Kelly, a really good team. They're 30-18 as Tyler Junior College. He's just played 7 games for them in his freshman season. But what a year it was for Grapevine last year to win the state title.
Yeah, it was an amazing season. Coach Webster came out, and I think just trying to calm Sam down a bit. 2 outs right here, so if you're an infielder, you got to keep that ball on the infield, make them string together some hits to score that run from second.
Tristan steps in, 2 outs and 2 on for the Yellow Jackets. Gerard looks back at second base, his glove next to his chin. He throws low and inside, a throw back to second base, and it hits the head of the shortstop Ray on a bounce. It might have clipped the runner too, and then caught the side of the head of Connor Ray.
I thought it actually hit the bag first and then caught him up in the side of the head. He's a little dazed. Gianni had a lot on that throw.
I think you're right. I think it did hit the bag, which is why Connor Ray wasn't able to field it cleanly. It ricocheted.
And Gianni made a good stop on that ball, actually, just to keep it in front of him. So that's why the runner had it leaning towards third base.
So runners stay at first and second. 1-0 the count. Gerard looks back at second base on a step over move, and the runners stay put. Adrian Tristan looking for a game-tying RBI here with 2 outs. Gerard stretches, and his pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Corral.
Yeah, 2 in a row that Sam's missed down.
After a hit by pitch to put runners at first and second. First hit batter that Grapevine pitchers have surrendered.
Yeah, Sam's put both runners on base. They don't have a hit this inning.
Alternating strikeouts and free passes. Here's his next pitch. It is off the inside corner, 3-0. A fly out and a strikeout today for Adrian Tristan. Batting in the 7 hole for Arlington Heights, the right-hand hitter with a hitter's count. Likely will be taking all the way here. The 3-0 pitch is a called strike, and it's 3-1.
Be interesting to see if they even let him swing here 3-1, just because Sam's had trouble finding the strike zone here last couple hitters.
First and second for the Yellow Jackets. Tying run at second base with 2 down. Time is called before the 3-1 pitch. Morgan Garrett is on deck for Arlington Heights. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss, or actually I think he foul tips it back to the backstop. And
yeah, he was swinging and put a pretty good swing on it.
The runners have to return to first and second.
Runners will be moving here on the pitch with 3-2, 2 outs. So
a chance to get out of the inning, post a 0 on the board, and head to the 7th if Gerard can get the job done. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He steps off the rubber.
actually wouldn't be a bad spot for like an inside move, because if that runner breaks early, you might steal an out at second. Yeah. Might be easier to pick the guy off than get the batter.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gerard set, and his payoff. Swung on a ground ball, left side of the infield. Ray Fields on the run, throws accurately, makes the play. The inning comes to an end.
Connor Ray, what a player, man. He's having a night. Mustangs now sit on a 3-2 lead here, headed to the top of the 7th inning. You're watching Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
Right after a nice defensive play to end the last half inning, Connor Ray leads off the 7th inning for Grapevine. He bunts on the first pitch up the third baseline and grabbed foul for strike one for Connor Ray, the shortstop. 0-1 to begin the 7th inning. Here, 3-2 lead for the Mustangs. Josh Warren alongside Jeff Knipper here for the doubleheader today.
Good idea right there by Connor trying to get a bunt down. You don't expect that from a guy that's hit 2 off the wall today.
The next pitch to Ray's in the dirt. It's a good point. A triple off the wall in his last at-bat. That was 2 innings ago. He's 1 for 2 today. Adrian Reyes into his wind and his pitch. A high fastball that gets Ray to swing through it. Strike 2. Outfield playing a step deep to Connor Ray, left-handed hitter who awaits the 1-2 pitch. He takes. It's a ball, 2-2.
They probably backed up a step or two on Connor compared to where they were earlier.
Takes another pitch for a ball, and it's now a full count to Connor Ray. Looking for a bit higher of a cushion. 3-2 is the lead. They only needed a 1-run cushion in the first game. They won 2-1. 3-2 pitch. He chops at it. A foul ball at the first base side.
Nice play right there by Coach Washburn. We haven't seen him make that play all the time this year, so he's on his game tonight.
It's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach Washburn.
3-2 again to Connor Ray. The payoff is again chopped foul at the first baseline. No chance for Coach Washburn this time. Just dribbles towards the dugout. Will Newton is on deck for the Mustangs, and then the top of the order awaits after that. Top of the 7th inning. Reyes' pitch. Breaking ball hit on a line toward short. Diving stop made by Hernandez. Catches it on the fly and a line drive out for Connor Ray.
Hernandez.
Another good at bat right there by Connor, even though that was an out.
Will Newton.
Will Newton, the batters, grounded out in both at-bats today. Again, the only player to not strike out today for Grapevine against a really good pitcher in Morgan Garrett, who had struck out 11 in his work. Now, Adrian Reyes, who has struck out 1 in his relief appearance, got 3 straight outs last inning. He throws a strike here. He had a runner at third, nobody out, and he did not allow that runner to score. The pitch is low to Will Newton for a ball. 1-1.
Shortstop made a nice play on Will earlier in the game. It went up the middle, and shortstop came and got it. It was actually on the second base side of the bag and got Will by a step.
Here's the pitch. It's a line drive towards the shortstop. Fernandez fields right next to the pillow, throws to first and gets the out. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the order now. Luke Esquivel comes up.
Number 1, Luke Esquivel.
The starting pitcher in this game, who went 4 innings in the contest on the mound. Did allow 2 runs in his final frame. 2 runs, 3 hits. 6 strikeouts on the mound today for Luke Esquivel. Takes a breaking ball for a ball. It's 1-0. He is 0 for 2 with a walk, 2 strikeouts. But he walked in his most recent plate appearance and scored Grapevine's first run. Takes a pitch low, 2-0.
Jeff, pitcher has the ball on his glove for the last 3 quarters of his motion as it sits it on his hip with his hand.
Grapevine did not score until the 6th inning today.
Right there.
Here's the pitch to Esquivel. Pops it up in the right side. Going back as Carpenter, the first baseman, gives way to the second baseman,
Nice
and
play.
Morgan Garrett makes the catch and gets the 3rd out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Adrian Reyes. And we head on to the bottom of the 7th. Can Grapevine finish off the doubleheader sweep? They've got a 1-run lead to work with in the 7th inning. This is Mustang Baseball Live on Tradio.
in the huddle. You know they in trouble, we bustin' they bubble. I know that we playing the game, but this gon' get real and turn into scuffles. The way I'm gon' touch you, every tackle I make gon' turn into fumble. They turning over the ball, my defensive line make sure that I score. Now all you gon' hear is a brawl. The crowd is in awe. What did you think was gon' happen? I don't know what you thought. You see, this is more than a song. Made a mistake.
The bottom of the 7th inning now from Arlington Heights High School. First pitch is fouled back by Morgan Garrett, with Sam Gerard on the mound trying to finish off this ball game and win 3-2 over the Yellow Jackets if they can get 3 more outs. Gerard's 0-1 pitch. Garrett swings and a foul tip off the glove. 0-2.
Yeah, good off-speed pitch right there that he had Garrett way out in front of.
Garrett pitched so well today, but his team trails by 1. His next pitch is swung on and missed in the dirt. A throw up to first in time. Garrett retired. A 3-pitch strikeout by Sam Gerard to begin the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs away for Grapevine to polish off a doubleheader sweep and finish the regular season on a 13-game winning streak.
I think this is a pinch hitter here for
number 17, Cole Morris.
Cole Morris pinch hits for Jaden Hernandez, the shortstop. Left-hand hitter to face the righty Gerard. His first pitch is taken and a ball, 1-0. Gerard has gone since the 5th inning. He has not allowed a hit in his relief appearance. 2 walks and a hit batter, but no hits. Finds the strike zone here to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Struck out a pair last inning. He has 3 strikeouts on the day. Here's his pitch. It is at the knees for a strike. He's the pitcher of record as well. They got the 3 runs in the 6th inning when he was in. He could collect the win here for Grapevine if he finishes this off, gets 2 more outs. His 1-2 delivery. Morris takes, called strike 3. Gerard claps his hands, and he's 1 out away from the victory.
Sam just fed him a steady diet of fastballs right there and got him looking at the last 2.
The toughest guy to get out on this Arlington Heights team is at the plate. That's Noah Castillo. Over 100 hits in his varsity career, headed to the Metro Atlantic Conference next year to play for Mountain View College. First pitch to Castillo is a ball, 1-0. Castillo 2 for 4 in game 1. One of the only outs he got was when they were down by 1 in the 7th inning. He flew out to left field. Again, he gets an at-bat, down by 1 in the 7th inning. This time he takes a strike, it's 1-1. Grapevine could collect a quarter-century wins if they finish it off here. The 24-2. Gerard sets in the 1-1 pitch. Castillo fouls it back, and the Mustangs are 1 strike away from a doubleheader sweep.
Sam's really come up throwing strikes this inning, and that's what I've seen of Sam is when he throws strikes, he's really tough.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty in the 7th inning, up by a run. The Mustangs looking for the win. The pitch is high for a ball, 2-2. Castillo 0 for 2 this game with a walk. So on the day, he is 2 for 6. Gotten aboard 3 out of 7 times. The 2-2 delivery, Castillo swings. Just got a piece to keep this ball game going. Fouled it back.
Yeah, he fought off a tough pitch right there. Good high fastball from Sam.
Gerard struck out the first 2 batters this inning. Top of the order now. His second time through the order. He walked Castillo the first time he faced him. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, 3-2. This was the same part of the order that Gerard faced when he began his relief appearance. He faced Morgan Garrett and got him to fly out as the 8-9-1 hitters, just like this inning. It was back in the 5th. His 3-2 delivery. Swung on, a ground ball left side. It's fielded by Esquivel, goes to first, and it's picked out at first. Got the out, ball game over. Grapevine sweeps the doubleheader and wins this game 3-2.
Another nice play by a Mustang infielder right there. Connor made several nice ones in this play. Lolly had to go a long ways to his left and throw on the run to get the leadoff hitter who runs pretty well. So the Mustangs just eke out another win. And as Josh mentioned, now 25 wins on the season, headed to the playoffs. We don't know yet who next week's opponent will be, I don't believe. That's yet to be decided, but once we get that information, I'm sure we'll put it out there on Tradio's Facebook page. But very impressive 2 wins for the Mustangs. Even though they were one-run ball games, they beat a very good Yellow Jackets team, and just excited to see where we end up next week, because the Mustangs are playing their best baseball right here at the end of the season.
The win goes to Sam Durard. The tough luck loss to Morgan Garrett, who struck out 11 today. Final score here from Arlington Heights, the Mustangs 3 and the Yellow Jackets 2. Jeff, thanks for joining me. Trey, thanks for having us here in the broadcast. Pleased to be with you. The Mustangs sweep a doubleheader. This has been a production of Mustangs Baseball Live on Tradio.
From Boyd, Texas. That'll be the final game of the regular season.